Hi, Jen.
Hi, Lauren.
Welcome back to Conspi-Reality.
Ooh, it's been a bit.
We had our 2-year anniversary.
I
Jessica.
couldn't believe it. It popped up on my memories, you know?
Which we're still on season 1 if you look at Spotify.
This is the longest season 1.
56 episodes of season 1.
When we start getting paid for this, they're going to be like, well, one season is 56 episodes.
Of course we want to sponsor with that.
Yeah.
So we have a lot to go through tonight. Needless to say.
So much.
Needless to say. Summer House, we're going to hit on Real Housewives of Rhode Island. So good.
So good.
Valley, which I was just saying to Jessica, is causing me more anxiety than my actual real life.
I know.
The babies, the relationships, lack of anything.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we can get into
Beverly
that.
Hills, we're going to hit on all of the reunions, and then
Yeah.
Southern Hospitality and Ladies of London.
Just to round it out.
Now, here's the thing that I must tell you off the bat. Like, this idea that Bravo can only do a reunion after the first season. So Ladies of London, we're not going to get a reunion.
Yeah.
And if they're sticking to their rule, Real Housewives of Rhode Island, we will not get a reunion. Right?
I feel like Real Housewives can be the exception. I think it's these side shows.
Oh, really? Because they got to see...
Side shows, but you know...
Like
Southern
off-mainstream.
Hospitality didn't get it. Then they realized it was huge. And then this year, first time they're getting a studio,
Right.
not in the clubhouse.
Watch what happens. Like,
They have been disrespected having like 2 or 3 in a clubhouse.
I agree, Jessica.
Rude.
All right, so let's go Bravo in the headlines first. So we don't have a lot of Bravo in the headlines, shockingly, because it's all baked into the shows.
Yeah.
But 2 quick hits. So the city cameras have picked up. City starts airing May 13th.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on that. And it's like, I have a beef with this production team. I think they've protected Amanda and Kyle for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, darn right, pick up cameras. You know what I'm not going to watch? An unedited season of Kyle and Amanda. And we act
And
like...
we have to pretend they're still working on their marriage.
Jessica. So
I
pick up
know.
those damn cameras and let's
Yeah.
get some flavor into this season. That's all I have to say. And then you had a Bravo in the headline.
Oh, yeah. Very sad. I think it was just a day or 2 ago. Missy from Ladies of London, who also tragically, her brother was the story was that her brother was murdered. One of her baby daddy ex-husbands just found dead after
saw
partying, it said.
In Spain.
Spain, and like crashed through a glass window.
Put his head through it.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but there's clearly drugs involved, right?
Yeah. It was, I mean, the story was just not saying it as much as saying he was partying with friends and the people interviewed said he wanted the party to continue and he went home and then was found in a pool of blood with glass in his head.
So I will tell you, I looked up that same article and the British press do not hold back on a lot of details. They're
ruthless.
So they basically said with very little subtext what had happened. Anyway, the picture was painted, but he was, I think, 35, 36.
Yeah,
super young. Okay, speaking of tragic, let's go into Summer House. Summer House first.
That's one segue.
Yes. Okay, so let's hit on a couple things that are just happening in the press right now. So Ciara has like come back out. She went to the Met Gala.
I think she was like working it like as a correspondent.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah. Also, how much do you think Paige was like, damn, I kind of thought that would be maybe my gig.
So I don't know if you saw, but Paige actually went to the Devil Wears Prada premiere.
Yes, because she's in it.
Yes.
Very briefly.
Cameo. And she was actually wearing the same dress as Anne Hathaway. Did you see this?
No, she wasn't.
Jessica, it was like pretty hot ass. So
It
wasn't the precise same dress, I think. It was a slightly different one, but it was like this long waist and then it had these like kind of ruffles at the bottom. But really oddly, the best way I can describe it is Anne Hathaway's dress looked like it was steamed and Paige's looked like it was fresh out of the suitcase. Because of how the ruffles were like plump and lush on Anne's, and then Paige's looked like it was like a flower that had gone like limp. And people were like, holy cow, Anne Hathaway looks so much better. Which again, it's kind of like you didn't test out that outfit? Like you didn't check to make sure no one else was wearing it?
Well, that's the part I'm shocked about, that I obviously don't know the inner workings of Hollywood, but I kind of feel like things get yay or nayed. I'm shocked
Right.
A very minor character was even allowed to be anywhere close to what one of the stars was wearing.
I agree. And I think it's the stylist's job to go out to their connections and go, who's wearing what. Yeah. People were like, she should be so embarrassed. It's like, well, she's making her way into a level of celebrity that she's never had before.
Yeah.
But it is a level of celebrity that you can't afford a mess up like that.
Yeah. Well, this is making more sense. Literally, I was catching up on Giggly Squads yesterday. Paige made a comment. Well, I've been crucified for wrinkles before, and I bet it was Devil Wears.
So then she went to F1, and she had an outfit on an F1 that she took a picture of, and she goes, it's really wrinkly.
White linen.
Yes.
She talked about her white linen suit.
So I think she's very aware.
You didn't see her at F1?
No, I didn't.
Were you on the lookout?
So I went to F1, but the track is huge. We were at turn 6. The slabs are at turn 1, which is where the drivers start.
Okay.
And Jessica, you would think that's like, oh, I could see turn 1. No, it's a 45-minute. Back to Summer House. So we actually have 3 episodes of Summer House. So let's hit on some of the high stuff.
Ooh.
The last major thing that we have to kind of go back to and chit-chat about was Wes and Ciara and their reconciliation at coffee. It seems like Ciara rolls over way too quickly in this whole conversation.
Yeah.
Like, and let's just say it, she's still in love with him.
Yes.
You can tell that.
She's kind of giddy.
And she took that conversation very clearly as, I kind of still like you and I want to keep you around. And I took the conversation from his point of view as, I was mad that people got mad at me and I don't want to have that in my life anymore. So I would like to get on a better term with you.
No, West only wanted to reconcile so that he stopped being discussed in that sense of the press. He just wanted to make amends to stop having this be the discourse.
100%.
Basically, he was saying the viewers hated me.
Right.
And it was because they liked you.
I was getting mad at you for not shutting them down.
And that's why he's saying he finally went to the press.
And then the other thing, Amanda says something in like a different episode where she says like, I see you to Ciara. And then Wes ends the fucking conversation with, I see you more.
Everyone is pinpointing, going, you cannot tell me that the two of them weren't already in collusion. That is too specific of a way to apologize to Ciara.
Yeah. With Jessica, I think out of all the things, like Amanda touching Wes, like it drives me nuts. That one actually made my blood boil because even just without having a sexual nature in the mix, if you went to a guy that was my situation
and you're coaching him,
and you were coaching him on how to manipulate me into being okay with you, that would have been how
more.
Dare you?
That would be a bigger betrayal. You can sleep with him all you want, but how dare you feed him lines that you know I'll fall for?
Right. That will make me be nicer to him. Like, honestly,
God.
Hell no. Okay, let's talk about Sabrina for 1 second, because there is a little bit of Sabrina going on in some of this. Sabrina, like, she worms her way in very fast.
Yes.
So having coffee with her, then we cut to soft bar launch, and she's inviting Wes and Ciara out to a double date, which they don't film, by the way. Interesting.
I wonder if they filmed it, just didn't make the cut.
Right. Like nothing juicy happened.
And that is where, when she comes to her first appearance on the show is Lindsay's housewarming, you're like, she has watched the show.
Oh,
a fan. She wants to be on said show.
Yeah.
And her being like, oh, double date. She was like, they'll film it. Swear this all isn't out of the goodness of her heart.
It's strategic.
Yeah. And please, God, don't have them on next season. I don't want Ben and Sabrina. On Dumois, they were posting possible cast for Summer House, and fucking Ben and Sabrina were in
the mix.
Oh, I was like, please be wrong. Please be wrong. And it was no Amanda, but it was still Ciara. Carl. I was like, sorry, I think
Carl's done.
Is ready to go. But Kyle was in it because now they want single Kyle.
Oh, I love
Even
that.
though he's 44. I mean, can we just put into perspective how weird it is that he is like turning up in the Hamptons at 44 as a single?
So let's talk about soft bar lunch.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So I have a hot take. I don't think they were effing. The way that Wes is so obvious that he's so much happier once Ciara likes him, and he's clearly so touchy with her, and then he tells Amanda at the bar. I think that Amanda and Wes were touching inappropriately. I don't think they were like effing. Though.
I think it was very just emotional. I think West was for sure kind of being there, shoulder to cry on with the Kyle stuff, being the male attention. I agree. Last summer, I do not think they had sex.
No.
Sometime in the fall, Christmas time.
Right.
Now that's a different story, and we'll see what we get in the city. But
and maybe there was electricity, so to speak. But I think the key too is in the next episode. But he openly complains about her in the car, which I just don't think you do that if you're trying to have sex with someone. Like, well, she came in pretty complaining. Did everyone catch that?
Thank you for calling it out, too, because good God. She walked in and was like, "Meh, meh."
And that, Jessica, that was after she had rested. That was her best self. That was her best version of herself. She had rested for a weekend. She was coming in fresh. It just makes me think that there's about a bajillion of these moments of her being like a crab that production has just trimmed along the way.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes me feel a little bit of empathy for Kyle, dare I say it.
Yeah.
When he sits there and he goes, you're not standing up for me and how ridiculous this is and one-sided it is.
Right.
One thing I want to talk to you about here, Sharon and Lindsay. How performative. First of all, Lindsay, drop it.
I remember the season starting and Lindsay, clearly the producer was like, how are you feeling going into a summer, And she's like, I don't think about it. I don't. Well, all of these indicators are showing you care very much. This most recent episode talking about we're now 2 years from the freedom dinner. It's like, shut the fuck up.
We don't care. But here's the thing here's my read on it, Jessica. I think she actually doesn't care. And she's doing it for the camera to be like, oh no, his mom. And here's my freedom dinner again. Everybody remember?
Wants to be so good with her, actually. He's just not even, the way she throws jabs at him and he just sits there with his big old veneers smiling away. But did you see, actually, Bravo in the headlines, Michael Rappaport?
Yes.
You agree. You're agreeing with what Michael Rappaport said.
What did he say?
He said, I don't think Lindsay's bringing much to the Hamptons. Her only storyline is that she broke up with Carl. And she's like, how dare you? You ain't seen nothing yet. And da-da-da. And I'm like, this goes to what you just said. She's being performative about her relationship with Carl because she has nothing else.
She's nothing else.
She can't show her daughter.
Right.
She's not with the ex guy. He's not agreeing to be on, so they can't show a co-parenting. Which again, what the F are we going to see on In the City?
Right.
Her starting to date. We can't see her daughter and we can't see the ex.
And here's the thing. Lindsay, this is what Michael Rappaport misses. Lindsay shows up and very critically and stirs up some drama.
Dinner.
Remember Jesse in the make out?
Yep.
She was the one that went to see her and said, he is wanting to make out with you.
Yes. Lindsay was also the one who told Lexi about the toe sucking.
Yes. Jessica, she shows up and she knows what the assignment is.
Yeah.
You can't. Anytime Michael Rappaport speaks, people descend from the heavens and have an opinion on what he's saying. Dave Portnoy from Barstool can literally say the most flippant wrong thing and everyone's like, Dave, we love you. Yeah. Poor Michael Rappaport, when he speaks, everyone's like, wrong.
He's so dislike.
He's super dislike.
He's and did you watch the season of Traitors he was on?
Yeah.
He's actually a Bravo superfan and all the Bravo people hated him on Traitors. He's coming out with controversial. He knew Lindsay Hubbard would get activated and have a dispute. He wants to do a squash the beef at this year's BravoCon. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he knows how to push that button.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to say to you is I think that Sharon, Carl's mom, is a messy moo-moo.
She also was like, I think I want to look a little better on screen.
Right.
But then the way Lindsay, when they cut to her.
She's like.
I was bombarded. I wish I was waiting for the producers to do a timestamp. I wanted to see the fast forward. Lindsay's been at the party for 34 minutes and then Sharon approached her. I was like, you were not bombarded at the front door by his mom.
Also, Jessica, Sharon too. Her first comment out of her mouth to Lindsay is, your hair is so short. It's okay, between the two of you, I can't. And then Lindsay's like a statue stone.
Oh my God, she's like, well, look listen. At her. And she's like, how's your daughter? She's a little mean, like me.
Like me.
I was like, let that one go, Lindsay. You are mean.
And then do you remember how she brought the bear to Carl?
What the hell? Do you know it's still at Soft Bar? Carl, just because the episode had aired, he just posted a story and the bear is still sitting where he placed it.
I mean, it's
I
like
love
an
it.
Andy Clubhouse moment. It's like, put the bear up. Everybody who walks in knows Lindsay gave him that.
Lindsay gave him that bear.
It's just too performative in my mind. The last thing I'll tell you on Soft Bar that you can comment on is the city. That was their moment to show them all. Did you catch that?
Yes.
Andrea, all of them.
and
Katie,
how
Rulla.
And how ironic that Carl's not on the show.
I know.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think I said this is the soft launch of the city.
And none of them knew the assignment, Jessica. Not
Danielle.
None of them got on camera. Danielle did.
Yeah, but Lindsay left and wouldn't talk to Danielle.
But that's going to be her storyline. Yeah. That's going to be their storyline in the city, is how that friendship has flamed. And then Katie Rulla, by the way, we talked about her. So she's Amanda's best childhood friend. And she was at the Italy wedding. That was her wedding. She's now on the city. She immediately came in. She made a beeline to Amanda. And apparently now she's getting hate because she's Amanda's best friend.
So they're saying you knew.
Knew. And Kyle goes in the comments. Kyle is such a little like kiss ass. Yeah. He goes in the comments and he goes, guys, pump the brakes. Katie is one of the best people ever. She had nothing to do with this. Like, lay off.
You also thought Amanda was the best
I
person
know.
ever. Did you know, interestingly, even though he was on that one party, I think it was the elderly party, Katie's husband isn't filming. It's just
Shut
her.
up. Okay, so let's keep moving on Summer House. But the Watch What Happens Live, by the way, did you see Lindsay was wearing that horse hair tie?
Yes.
It didn't look good, by the way.
No.
I'm like, this is not selling the horsehair tie. I don't think it was meant to be, but
No.
okay, so they go to that camp where they I think they should always do that.
That was so
And
cute.
did you notice Amanda and Kyle were not there?
Yes.
It couldn't be bothered. And we move into the last weekend, which we know the reunion is coming. Now, the one thing I'll say to you that I have noticed on the show is this last weekend, like, they know that's the finale. I don't think any other Bravo show knows precisely what's going to be the finale.
Which party's going to be it. But this is like Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, they know.
We stop filming.
So I do think they really come with the seasonings, this cast on this Labor Day weekend. Like,
Kyle and Carl are about
if something's going to happen,
they
come really full force. Now, my conspiracy, Jessica, is that this is always the weekend that Amanda and Kyle notoriously make up and they go like, we're gonna make it. This is the weekend. This is the weekend that they got engaged. This is the weekend that they have
It was a tough summer.
Yes, this is the weekend that they have the wedding when they were gonna get married. Like, this is the weekend that they resolve the arc of their relationship. So my conspiracy is that basically when Kyle loses his mind on this whole thing, it was not only because he was mad that Amanda had talked to Ciara about a separation, but it was also contrary to what in his mind needed to happen on the last weekend, which is they resolve it.
We're supposed to be good.
Yes.
Because remember, we went to one couples counseling. So everything is solved. Yeah.
What did you think about the Ciara advice to separate as a married woman?
I actually was like, how is she getting away with meddling so much in this relationship?
Jessica, it was horrible advice. It was a single woman's advice to a married person.
It was just overstepping so much.
And as a married person, like, would you ever do that?
No.
Here's the thing about being married is you don't let the bottom drop out. That's like the thing. You don't let the arguments get so bad that you can't return. You don't call names that you can't take back because you have to have a mutual level of respect. And I feel like separating and going to live, it's like you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. That was the worst advice ever.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's so confusing though in this house because the whole thing is they do make their relationship the house problem. So it is weird that you probably, as Ciara, you know so much more than the average would about their friend's marriage and like what's going wrong. So I feel like you probably in your head think you're in a place that you can give advice and comment a lot more than the average friend would.
Well, and I feel like Lindsay was at the big blow up fight. She's like, actually, you can blame me for this one. It's like, no, the real person you can blame is Ciara.
Yeah.
Because Ciara at the beach tells Kyle, like, why don't you guys separate? I've already talked to a man about this.
Yeah.
He Jessica, he spirals.
Yes.
On camera spirals.
Yeah.
Because he's like now hiding behind like a towel trying to be like, did she tell you that off camera? Like, when was that?
Yeah.
He's trying to like,
that's not what we just talked about in counseling.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I did feel bad for him. I agreed with what Lindsay was saying with the residency.
To be blindsided, with that info.
I mean, how like low you would feel, right? If you felt like you were on the right path with your wife, and then all of a sudden you heard she was talking about separating.
Yeah. And I'd be like, I'm not the first to hear that you would like to do this. But
yes,
I know their relationship is such a hot mess. I don't know.
And then let's talk about this final dinner, right? So
I won't admit that I noticed these things in the moment, but when I see all the accounts and the reactions, everyone's screen grabbing Amanda's face, and they're like, she fucking loves it.
Yeah, she was smiling.
Yes. Smirking,
yeah.
That Kyle, it's almost like she's like, see what I deal with?
Yes.
She loves when he goes off
the handle. She was relishing.
Yes. And that is so fucked up.
Yeah, that's horrible. Because he almost too gets mad because she doesn't react.
Yeah.
Like, and she loves that he gets more mad when she doesn't react.
Yeah.
Because it helps prove in her little competition with him that she is like always in the right and he is always in the wrong.
And
yeah. And I will say, I don't agree with his DJ career.
No.
And the fact that he was going to do residency in Vegas, Jessica, like, if my husband was going to do that without talking to me, I would be like, okay, see ya. Like, we'll see where we stand after this. Knowing Amanda, and specifically knowing that there might have been a lot that has hit the cutting room floor over these past 10 years where she's been a crab. She's been so rude to him. Yeah. And he's sitting there, he's like, you got to be kidding me on this.
Yeah.
I felt for him.
I know. And I haven't heard about the Vegas residency. He's still doing his random gigs.
How is he this big in the DJ world? He's definitely bigger than Meredith Marks.
Yes. And Maddie Reese.
Oh my God, hugely bigger.
And Erica Jane. I mean, how many DJs do we need to run through?
I do think Kyle, from the clips I've seen online, is good. Like, Meredith Marks hits play and then, like, dances in the background. Like, somebody else clearly makes her set.
Do you think Brooks is? Or Seth?
Yeah, Seth is making the set. Kyle, you can tell, actually has some skill. Yeah. Maddie, I think, is also quite a good skill level-wise DJ. But I can tell Maddie's songs I would not like. Yeah. Like, I think she's playing weird songs.
She's Gen Z.
Yeah. She's playing, like, TikTok songs. Like,
Kyle is an even older millennial than us, so we like Kyle's song choices.
Kyle's playing, like, Blink-182,
yes,
and you're, like, belting don't waste your time on me. He's doing that stuff, yeah. All right, last thoughts. Amanda's sitting next to Mia and kind of saying, like, Ciara just has to look at me and I'm ready.
As everyone's saying, I mean, that conversation is the most one that doesn't age well.
Well, you know what? It doesn't even age well for Wes. If you were sitting there with Wes watching this play out in your love nest of, like, diabolical sex, like, if you were Wes, wouldn't you be like, what?
You just said you
bro
cut me off.
Like, what?
He probably does call her bro.
I know.
Oh my God, he does.
Yeah,
he for sure does.
Yeah.
Hit the nail on the head there.
Okay, let's move on to Real Housewives of Rhode Island. So the twists and turns on the show just keep coming. Like, and you know what's so refreshing is they call it all out. Now, I can't tell if that's because this is the first time they've ever been on TV.
Yes. Andy was in a interview or podcast or something, and he said, we haven't seen this lack of awareness that they're on TV in a while. And he goes, and I love it. Like, we are getting
We needed it.
They are not putting stuff on for show.
We needed it.
But I was like, also, little admitting that other franchises are putting things on. The facade
is too scripted. So Kelsey is a great example of this. So Kelsey and Liz had this big fight about Liz potentially having this rumor was that she was effing somebody other than her husband, right? Dino.
Were you dying that the whole time they just kept going ongoing? You said ongoing. And then you said because of the ongoing. And I'm always like waiting for the rest of the sentence. And that's just where it cuts.
But then Liz
ongoing
redirects back to Kelsey and goes, Kelsey doesn't want to talk about her mess with Dino.
Because she slept with him.
Right. And you think this is going to be this whole cryptic thing that you now have 3 episodes to try and diagnose what happened. Nope. Kelsey shares it right off the bat.
That he kind of stalked her.
He stalked her. Which, God, and he's still in the same room as her. Jessica.
Yeah. And is good friends with
her best friend.
Yeah.
Which, if a man stalked me and then he was still around, like, she holds it together really well.
Yeah.
He's like still at the same parties as her.
Yeah, no, it's creepy.
Also, Dino, by the way, I did a little research on him. He has been convicted, or he took to trial, I should say. He wasn't convicted of being a coke dealer. But Jessica, not just like a meet me on the street corner, I'll pass you the bag coke dealer, but like international harbors operation, like FBI coke dealer. Yes.
Well, we're going to find out why Liz and her husband are so buddy-buddy with him, and they're very rich.
I was going to say, why they're so rich.
And it's all from weed?
Exactly. Because you know what happens with weed? What you have to do when you go into a weed shop is you have to pay with cash, because you can't swipe the Amex. It would open them up to government scrutiny, and weed is not legal federally.
Oh.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
some version of what I'm saying is right. I know what I'm...
literally still never stepped foot in a dispensary.
Oh, I have. And it's so weird because it's like you could go to the most corporate chain ever, but they're still like, we only take cash. You're like, this feels shady. But you know what?
This feels ripe for being robbed.
Well, it's a money laundering outlet, right? But Jessica, you know who would need money being laundering is Dino. Because he's a coke dealer. Like an international one.
Because
like,
he's a coke dealer.
Like 2 away from the kingpin.
Yeah.
Anyway, so... but this
I wonder why they sold that boat. What's going on there?
Like
he's done with his sport fishing career. Like, also came out of nowhere.
Well, she was like, stop
or
fucking...
transporting it to other countries.
Jessica, yes, I'm telling you. The FBI is like watching this show with a magnifying glass.
I'm sorry. If I was doing extremely illegal things, my need and desire to be famous and on TV would never surpass staying below the radar.
Right.
Why do these women go on these shows? Have we not learned? I love it. We are calling it. I mean, timestamp
this. Seriously. I was reading this and I'm like, no wonder they're such good friends with him. No wonder they're so rich. He gives them a cut of the money that they launder through their weed business. Jessica.
Yeah.
Alicia, let's just talk about her for 1 second.
She is a kook.
She is a kook. And
I love her.
Stupid.
She's dumb, but...
Dumb. Admits that she hits a woman in her confessional. She used to be a club rat. Somehow has gotten into a 10-year marriage where her name is not even on the mortgage.
Not marriage.
Oh, excuse me.
Relation. They're engaged.
Yeah. Calls herself homeless, which is controversial for Liz. Liz
was like, I'm not letting you do that.
Yeah.
Is obsessed with dolls and talks to them.
What is that, Jessica? So for those that didn't watch the show, this Alicia literally has a room full of dolls that
she does not allow her daughter to play with.
And they're like Bratz dolls. They're not like... I, growing up, had like Alexander dolls, they were called, which is like, they were almost considered like assets. There was like...
collectibles.
Yeah, there was money associated if you could keep them prim and proper, which I could never. I was like cutting the hair and stuff.
Yeah.
Alicia's dolls are Bratz. Or like the knockoff.
A little step up, yeah. They're like not American Girl dolls, but they're around that level.
feel like some psychologist out there is like, oh my God, thank God, I've never seen this in real life. This doll obsession.
No, there's something where she's like stuck in her childhood.
Yes. Everyone is like kind of laughs about it, but I'm like, this is like a mental issue.
Yeah, it's very strange. That reminds me, just recently, it was like on Twitter or Threads, Alicia, talk about the kook, she posted out, or actually maybe it was on Instagram, she literally was like, on her story going, hi, looking for a doctor to take fat deposits from my this and putting it into my cheeks or something. And it was like, I have a little window of downtime. And everyone's like, this woman's amazing. I mean, she's putting this out on public social media, like looking for a doctor for her cosmetic surgery because she viewed herself on TV and is like, I got to change that before season 2. It's
totally. They go to the Derby, right? And here's the thing. This, it seems true, right? Joe Allen catches Rulla's husband The excuse didn't make total sense to me.
No.
He has to run home and check on his mom, who has to be run off to an ER,
Yes.
right? Because her hands are cold, her feet are cold. And then Joe Ellen seems to figure out that he actually went to go see the mistress, because the mistress posts on Instagram a picture of her in his car, like naked, I would presume.
Or like her leg or something.
But Jessica, first of all, we got to follow this mistress. Is it
Yeah.
private? Is she private?
Who knows? But allegedly she has NDAs now.
Shut up. The mistress?
Well, yes. But so I just saw an interview Rulla did, and someone said, we need to discuss this NDA. And get this, they had made, I don't know at what point, but the mistress had been made a minority owner in their spa business. So she said the NDA is actually related to the business side of things, and people are making it like it's about their relationship. But everyone's going, your husband made his mistress part of like a business partner with you. That's like also just a whole nother betrayal and issue. So she's like, the NDA is because of the business side of things.
Wouldn't you, if you were Brian, say, hey, honey boo boo, stop posting?
That's what people were thinking. He was making the mistress sign an NDA to stop discussing their relationship. He wants Rulla to divorce him.
Right.
So he's like, good God, how much more do I have to do to you to leave me? Which is, I think, true. He seems like the most weaselly. I just think when you have a family business, that just adds another piece that you are so much slower to divorce, because how the F do you divide up these assets in the company?
Well, you're making clear, and just to jump ahead, like Beverly Hills, all of a sudden it became very clear to me why Mauricio's not pulling that trigger with Kyle. When she sits on the couch and she goes, well, half of the agency is mine. I was like, Jessica, I like spit the water on my mouth.
You don't agree?
No.
I do.
You do?
Lauren, he started that company well into their marriage, and she was the stay-at-home mom, kind of working here and there, some acting gigs, I'm sure, but they built that. She allowed him to go out and build that. I'm sorry, if Vince starts a company in another year or two while we're married and I become a stay-at-home mom, you best believe I'm taking half that company if we split.
Okay.
Think of that. If Kunal started something, you'd think, oh, well, he started it.
I don't think...
No, like...
Here's the thing. I think you can't go back retroactively. So let me give you an example.
Okay.
Amanda with Loverboy. Do you think she wants half of that pile of mess? No.
Well, yeah, you only want it if it's doing
right.
well.
So here's the thing. Just like a prenup, I think you have to spell out very clearly in the beginning of the starting of the company, where does your wife sit in the amount that she owns?
But if you don't have a prenup, then yes, the wife is liable if the company
goes under. I agree with that, but I think that if you're starting a business and you're a wife and you don't show any interest of getting into it or owning half of it in the beginning, then to retroactively go back after it's a $1 billion company and go, I get half.
How about 33%?
Yes, I would agree with you.
Give Mauricio the majority.
She gets a sliver, Jessica. I agree with you. She gets a sliver. Okay, last little piece on Real Housewives of Rhode Island. So the Rhode Island mansion. Holy cow, that thing was huge.
Didn't it say like 26 bedrooms?
I know. And then they all like run and fight for the bedrooms, and it's like...
And people are sharing. Clearly they said it's this quarter wing of the house.
I would share with you. I feel like that place is haunted.
Definitely haunted.
Oh.
Yes. No, I would not.
It said it was 43,000 square feet.
Yeah.
All right. And then they have the mask party. Kelsey decides to go after Rosie. Ashley I decides to like speak up for the first time.
We don't really need Ashley in this show.
I know.
Literally, I cracked up when they cut to the interviews and they're like, Ashley's crying because she doesn't have something to cry about.
Yeah, right. Totally. Yeah,
She's saying the anticipation of the bad thing that's going to happen to her is what's terrifying to her.
Which I actually related to her on that. But here's where the housewife layer is starting to show itself, right? Because Ashley wouldn't have piped in that fight unless she had gotten talked to by Rosie to say, you need to start backing me up.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is where it now escalated drama because, this is the classic housewives that we're starting to see now, right?
But it's like, it's also the classic Kelsey goes to Rosie. your house is not that, you're like, you're not building it as big as it is. You're not admitting that you were actually fired from your job. You're saying it was a medical leave, but it's because you slept with a superior, blah, 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 blah. And then Rosie's like, wow, you care so much about me. Because he's like, I don't. It's like, you can't list all these things that bother you and then be like, I don't care about you.
Rosie like has annoyed me until this episode. All of a sudden I'm kind of like, I feel you're more lovable now. Like, because she seems to have a general awareness of how hard she is to deal with.
Yeah.
And Kelsey is trying to act like a cool. Let me tell you, you know how I watched the after show? The after show is not good at all, Jessica, because there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. Like, usually the after show is like you dig into these concepts and then you get 10 details and you're like, oh, that's why that happened.
And because I do feel like time has passed, they get a little more loose-lipped.
Yeah, right.
And they'll finally be like, I was alluding to this.
Right.
Whereas they weren't alluding to anything. They said it.
Versus in this after show.
He's still doing it, Ma.
Yeah. In this after show, they don't have anything to talk about. So they're talking about like goofy shit.
It's like, funny. Well,
now I put the after show on the background. It's still nice to see them because it's like friendships playing out. But it's like there's nothing more to say. They said it on the show.
We actually don't need an after show for this for this series.
All right, Real Housewives of Bev Hills reunion. So first of all, somebody said this online. They look horrible, all of them. The outfits. What is Kyle wearing, Jessica? First of all, is blush supposed to be that red and that much on your eye?
Her and Erica are so pink.
So blush.
All up here. And is Kyle's hair supposed to be a clean top knot, or is that one fringe piece meant to be there?
Yeah,
it's driving me nuts. I'm like, did that escape? Or was that the goal?
That's how she looked walking out.
Oh, okay. So that was the goal.
So my husband hates when I wear blush, like really to any degree that he can see it.
Yeah.
Because he's always like, what's with the pink cheeks?
Yeah.
So I'm going to blush up my cheeks like those housewives. The one thing I'll say, Jessica, is if Beverly Hills is doing that, that's the trend.
No.
You know what I mean? Like East Coast moves in, West Coast moves into Midwest like 2 or 3 years after the fact.
Well, I wonder if the lighting on stage is different than in their trailer with like the overhead. I swear.
But then they have a break and you should see it corrected a little.
That's true.
Like the makeup artist should go, damn.
Should be in the back going, oh my God, I need to
And all those women, by the way, are professionals enough that those makeup artists are coming on and they're dabbing.
Yeah.
You know, when there's a cut.
More blush. Blush me up.
Kyle's outfit looks ridiculous. Erica Jane looks
turtleneck.
Fabulous, but super costume.
Yeah.
Bose is
just like lace. Like it's a weird heavy lace for her.
Yeah, right.
You know?
And I just feel like it's like, what is the theme? Because really, it's supposed to be like, we're all wearing red. We're all wearing pink.
I feel like everyone says Beverly Hills has never once been able to go to a theme.
Yeah.
They're all going to different functions.
Also,
so you know how we always talk in advance and I'm like, there's no way Beverly Hills can be 3-part. Yeah. And it was. But how funny. So part 1 records on my DVR. Parts 2 and 3 did not record. Even my TV refused.
So I will say on this reunion, Andy seems more activated than normal.
I wrote down I think hates Dorit.
Hates her. You know, and they're using him to mediate.
He's like, when a housewife will not see logic and he spells it out and she still goes, what am I apologizing for? And Andy's like, because she said, like he gets like, she said, like he gets so frustrated.
Well, he's also friends with Kyle. So
yeah,
he's a little
true.
You know, I'm going to see
he's a little biased.
But you're not supposed to be like, Andy, can you stop her from talking? Or Kyle does it.
Kyle
does
says,
it to Andy.
Can you stop?
And he's like, I can't. Like, it's too much.
So I love Casey Wilson, is a huge Bravo fan. She's a comedian, actress, also has a podcast all about Bravo stuff with a girlfriend of hers. And she was just on Watch What Happens Live last night. And Andy always is like, I want your Bravo hot takes and da-da-da. So he said, because it was Beverly Hills reunion night, and he said, do you think there's a path forward for Dorit and Kyle? And she went, I don't know if there's a path forward, but I cannot hear about it any longer. Andy, are you listening? We are so fucking sick of this storyline.
And you know what makes it worse? And I just kind of did it there, is Dorit, when it's Dorit's turn to talk, she does pregnant pauses. You know? Let me tell you. And it's like, what you're saying is not that smart. It's not that significant. You're not weaving a narrative that we can't track nor follow.
Like came in with a chip on her shoulder.
Nah, totally.
And I said, I think like the big problem. There were quite a few times where Dorit has, yes, her long spiel about something, and Andy finally will then go, Erica, do you accept that
Right.
or do you agree? And Erica's like, I don't, it's whatever. And there were times Kyle just had a smile on her face when Dorit's going in at her. They don't care.
Right.
They both are like, be gone. I
Right.
don't even want to talk about this bullshit anymore. And that is the problem. I'm sorry. I truly think Dorit should be cut.
Well,
I think we need a big shakeup.
I wrote down, as the young kids say, I think Kyle eats when she goes, well, I'm not in the same financial situation as you. I'm like, oh.
And Dorit has the audacity to say, how do you know my financial? And then Eric under her breath, well, the house is under foreclosure.
Right?
And have you heard the rumors about her book?
No, what's happening?
It was supposed to come out in April. People did pre-orders. It's been pushed to June or July.
Stop.
And everyone goes, it might not exist. They were like, when things get pushed, then other people that are in the know were commenting and saying, no, if pre-orders are being accepted, something exists. They're not faking that a book is there.
Okay, but what is your diagnosis then if it's delayed? Like, is
everyone's just saying super low sales.
Like, at that point, just drop some tea about the housewives, like Lisa Rinna did it with her book.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Just tell us all the dirty deeds.
Okay, so I want to move to Bose and Amanda. I love Bose, Jessica. The argument that Bose takes towards Amanda is not strong. Like,
Bose, every instance, did not correctly remember what she said.
I know.
Every cutback, I didn't say that. They cut to her in the vineyard going, well, my course doesn't make money, but that... I never said it didn't make money.
Which
the Pinocchio. I never said.
Why doesn't Andy jump in?
I know.
I thought Andy started doing that with Salt Lake, where he would be like, actually, you said this. I don't think they play it live there. I think that would take too long. But
in his ear, he goes, producers are telling me she did say X. Because Bose got away with the two moms comment. Amanda even went, play the interview. And Andy's like, we're going to pull it up. Amanda goes, I know you said it.
Oh my
they
God.
cut to, and Bo's like, I don't like her saying she's the mama. There's only one mom.
What did she have to say about it?
They then didn't discuss. That's why I was like, is this not being played? This was pissing me off because she was standing, like, as they say, 10 toes down on stuff. And she was blatantly wrong.
And here's the thing. And Bose keeps coming. She's like a dog with a bone with Amanda. And I think it's because they kind of do the same thing. I mean, we all know that at this point.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, Bose, like, you're smarter than Amanda. Let me give you an example. Whoa. In the leaked audio of Summer House, Ciara is saying to Amanda, but you were married during all this.
Yeah.
And it's like, Ciara, that's the weakest fucking argument that you could be trying to chastise.
Because even Amanda goes, what? I'm not supposed to
She's
date
like,
anyone?
we were not married. I was separating him.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you chasing that? It's like, Bose, why are you chasing
the betrayal?
Yeah.
Yes, focus on the betrayal.
It's like, why are you chasing these weird offshoot arguments with Amanda?
Probably
like,
because she wants to act like she doesn't care about the business side. So she's trying to just pick her apart in other places. But Amanda, it was annoying me how smug the amount of times Amanda's like, oh, well, what an impact I had. And like, because they bring out matcha drinks at the end.
bar. But at the same time, it's like, if nobody else is going to bring content, this is the content that we are left to talk about.
Remember when we were saying who else would be first chair? Like it should have technically been Amanda with how much drama.
Right.
But of course, she was like way back. It was Kyle, Erica, Sutton, then her.
Right. They're just too nervous about their looks and their veneer and how they are presented to the camera. I mean, Erica did try to drop more nuggets this season about who she was dating and all that.
She definitely opened up
But
more.
it feels like Erica does that knowing with strategy in her mind.
Yes.
She doesn't do that to be like authentic to the camera.
Yeah. No, she knows I have to give something.
You're right.
So let me at least cherry pick what it's going to be.
Right. Yeah. Let's move to the Valley.
Please. Well, not really, but yeah.
Okay, so the Valley we're going to keep high level because honestly, I cannot discuss like what's equivalent to my day-to-day living. Like I can't. But let's start with the hottest thing, Michelle and Dr. Dre. I didn't think that was him, Jessica. Oh, so Michelle.
Wild.
I mean, Michelle, how can he stand her? Through a dinner? Like, how can Dr. Dre...
Well, I don't even have an idea of what Dr. Dre is like in his real life.
Sure.
Like, what does he talk about? I don't know. Does he have kids? Is he a
Can
divorce?
you imagine though, like Michelle talking about like Isabella to Duck? Is it seems like it's more serious than just one night out because
holding hands, leaving dinner,
holding hands, and you knew the paparazzi was out there. Like you wanted to signal something at that point.
Oh my god, I can't wait to hear more about that relationship.
Okay, so let's see. Let's cut to kind of some of what's happening here. Janet and Zach. Janet. I do think hive mind is going on with her, Jessica.
Yeah.
And you want to know why I think this? And there's actually a weird piece of evidence of why I think it. But in the after show, Tom Schwartz is dating that girl, Ciara, who I thought was so weird. And everybody like loves her.
No, everyone said she came out very weird, but yeah.
And then do you think Zach was actually trolling her with the glasses? Yeah. But so, and because she kept like looking over her like Gen Z glasses.
And she's indoors.
Yeah, and with the glasses.
Take them off.
But anyway, so in the after show, they were all talking about her and how beautiful she was. And they all have her location and they can look where her location is. And she's so cool and she's so thin. I mean, that's hive mind. Because I was objectively evaluating that girl and I thought, she's a lovely girl.
She's
but
pretty.
But she's not the most prettiest girl I've ever seen. Yeah. I think Nia's prettier than that girl.
Yeah.
I mean, we know her about this much, but I do think that the hive mind is taking over of like the fangirling of Ciara. I think hive mind is happening with Janet.
Yes.
I don't like Janet, but I think hive mind is happening.
Also, Kristen and Nia are just so I will not reconcile.
Yeah.
And we know that does not make a show.
And Nia has got a ticking time bomb on her hands.
With Danny?
What was happening there when they go to San Diego? Which, by the way, very apropos for this cast. Like, just like the fact that they're going to San Diego. Like, it's too close. It's not like luxurious enough.
I know.
You know, it's like
they took a train.
It took a train. Why are we filming on a train, Jessica? Like, literally, you and I have to take a train sometimes if we go up to Milwaukee. Like, I'm wasting my precious time watching a cast sit on a train.
I know. And then, but the 3-month postpartum situation.
Real. I almost wish that the producers would have just started filming at month 4 versus month 3, just because it's like so hard to watch.
So Vince is, hates these shows, but when they're on, he's suddenly like looking up from his laptop a lot more and suddenly chiming in. Who's that? I'm like, oh, somebody's paying attention.
Right.
And I said to him, you probably wouldn't guess, but I was referring to Danny and Nia. I said, that's their 4th, and the other one, it's their 1st.
Wow.
I said, you probably wouldn't have thought that when Danny's like, I can't put her down, and I need a swaddle.
Like, Nia. First of all,
you're eating another sandwich. Okay, shut the fuck up. Also, breastfeeding?
Why was she not using the babysitter?
That's the only thing people are trying to defend Danny. Like, if you're paying a nanny to be there, let the nanny do it.
Here's the thing. I thought Danny wanted to like run around and have a bunch of fun right there. And I felt like Nia was kind of trying to punish him by being like, no, you're not going to do what I think you're going to do, which is like.
Well, she's probably trying to delay his
shots.
Drinking.
Yes. That's kind of what I caught.
She's like, you're not going to be hammered by the time we get to the amusement park.
Right.
No, I mean, there is so much. Everyone's talking about their veneer, and it's slipping.
It's slipping. And and here's the thing that I think happened with this cast is everybody looked and goes, you know what's popular in America? To hate Janet. So we're all going to hate Janet. And then meanwhile, their house isn't clean.
No,
I think Nia decided to try and punish Danny by saying, you're going to put the baby down. I'm not going to go let you drink.
Yeah.
And then Danny decides to punish Nia when Nia's like, ready to have fun at the roller coaster? He's like, it's like performative. I'm like, it is performative.
I was literally typing, Nia is being so weird.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. Danny went, you're being really performative. I was like, oh my God.
He was being such an asshole. She was being performative.
Yeah. And then she tried to be like, this is just me without kids.
I just want to circle back. Like, this is how I am. It's like, if you have to explain it, this is not normal. If you have to explain it to your husband that this is how I normally act.
And also, there have been times that I am like a weird giddy and I kind of know I'm being weird and like annoying about it. But Vince and I are both like, we'll laugh and be like, somebody's excited. Like, we don't get so mad at each other. You know what I mean?
So let's talk about one thing real quick too, because I can't help but always think this with Nia and Danny. It's like there was a choice that was made with having that many kids. Mm-hmm. There was a choice, Jessica. And I mean, we just had kids. We know how it feels.
Yeah.
It is it doesn't seem like it would be easier for the third or fourth. Your body goes through so much. It's crazy. I get all of that. But at the same time in my mind, I'm like, my husband and I are actively having one, and we're done after that because of how much of a situation it was for us. Situation is the nicest possible brand I can put in it. Our marriage took some deep hits after one. Deep.
Yeah.
So maybe two one day, but like we're not gonna have another one right away. And the fact is like Danny and Nia are like, let's do it. And then to be this much on the rails.
I know.
I don't know. It's hard to reconcile in my mind.
It's a little bit hard to have sympathy when it wasn't a whoopsie. She was tracking her ovulation going, I want one more and then to be done and then to be so stressed because you have 4 young kids.
The only other thing I'd say about the hive mind, which this is why I think it's true, everyone seems to love Lacey now.
Group hug.
It was like, oh, baby girl, let me give you a hug. It's like last season, wasn't she like the enemy?
Yeah. It was like she was throwing NDAs at people.
Right.
Cease and desists.
But now she's boo-boo, like, honey boo-boo, come give me a hug, girlfriend.
She's honey boo-boo. We hate Janet.
Janet still, though.
I wonder where Lacey and Janet stand.
Oh, Lacey doesn't like Janet. Remember, she didn't want to come to San Diego.
Oh, right.
San Diego because she didn't want to be around people she didn't like.
Janet was doing digging up on her.
But Michelle was doing that, too, but we've forgiven Michelle.
She kind of has to just make peace.
But just go with my theory. It's just like they're just forgiving of everyone else but Janet.
I know.
I'm like,
but Janet is a person 100% that does the digging and is saving a little bit of blackmail for a rainy day. Like, I fully think she's got nuggets on everybody.
I hate to say it, Jessica, I think if I was on a reality TV show, I'd do that too.
You'd be Janet.
I went to a party recently, and I feel like during that party, I was like, I had an outer body experience where I'm like, Lauren, you're not on a reality TV show. Like, stop being snarky with people.
You're not trying to get that soundbite.
No, there's no camera. You're not going to explain why you said this in a confessional later. Like, just be nice. What are you doing?
The amount of reality TV we watch and
it's
like
crazy.
our brain thinks that way. I get it.
All right, let's go to Southern Hospitality. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing that I saw. I want your thoughts on this. So Leva has weighed in to this whole Emmy situation. Did you see this?
Yes.
People were like, Leva, comment.
Yeah.
You have a black son. Like, like, what is she doing? How did you let this? And Leva's the executive producer. It was like, I didn't realize this was happening. I guess as the executive producer, I have general consensus over things. I do not approve each episode. She's like, I'm watching this play out real time. She said Emmy is no longer on any shifts at Southern Charm. She's like, I'm not shifting Emmy anymore. It hasn't fired her.
Republic.
Yeah, thank you. Republic. She's not on any more shifts at Republic.
Oh my God, I didn't hear that part.
She said Brad no longer works at Republic. Like, although he's welcome back, he's not taking a shift.
Oh my God, this is making me sad. I don't give a shit about Emmy, but they're so
big.
TJ's gonna be Sir Wieners. He's not gonna be a bartender anymore.
But they're
already hitting.
But Jessica, they're still such good friends. They're gonna still stay friends.
I know, but it's getting Vanderpumpy.
Yeah,
it's getting. They don't work there anymore.
We're evolving. And the last thing she said, by the way, was that she doesn't know if the show is worth it, if it's gonna show stuff like this. Yes. Now, it was a little implied. It wasn't as on the nose of what I just said.
The opposite. Everyone praises Southern Hospitality for having these convos.
But here's the thing. I don't think Leva feels like it was sufficiently said of how bad that was.
Oh, okay.
You know, like these kids are fighting it on their own. Michael's, Brad, you know.
Yeah.
But she feels like this was racism. I mean, it was. It was a microaggression. It was racism. She feels like if you had a job in corporate America and you were racist to somebody, you would be fired. And the fact that they made like a storyline around this versus just taking care of the issue is like what she's like kind of implying. That's how I took it.
Yeah. And she made a comment too that one of the like sound bites I heard or saw was, well, Emmy is already getting the repercussions of this.
How?
So maybe it was that she doesn't work at Republic, but I bet like brand stuff. Like,
really? Yeah. It's interesting.
Only losing followers.
I mean, it's weird too because it's like with Emmy, like, would we even see her wedding? Like, they actively
because Will won't film.
No, and they don't even say his name.
What if the groom has to be blurred out?
They say
No, they're not going to reward her by showing off her wedding.
right.
You know?
They say her fiance.
My fiance, and it's
yeah.
so much easier that my fiance doesn't
I mean,
film
think
anymore.
if you were watching that and you were his family, how crazy she is. There's something wrong in her brain.
Yeah, like literally right now, Emmy is probably shouting into the void in Charleston, I did nothing wrong.
Right.
Like she is so hard-headed. Like she's so dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
She doesn't understand.
That's not even hate. It's just a fact.
She's dumb.
She doesn't know, like, when
she
Jessica
can't
says
understand the nuance of a situation.
No, she doesn't understand. Like, if I were to say to Jessica, like, something very basic, she doesn't understand a lot of what's being communicated to her.
Yeah.
And then also, I truly don't think she knows what a microaggression is.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah. So it's like talking to what I would only equate to Teresa Giudice on Real Housewives of New Jersey, because of the level of intellect is so much lower that it's like you can't expect her to even respond properly to some of this. It's weird to me that they were all such good friends with Emmy, you know, like Brad, Michaels, right? They were all so ride or die for her until this moment. Okay, the other thing I want to say, did you see Allie?
Yes.
No, Jessica, I'm not dealing with her. I'm not dealing with
Oh my God,
this.
we forgot the Bravo in the headline. Did you see?
What? Oh, James got his girlfriend pregnant.
James Kennedy is going to be a father.
We don't know who the girl is, though.
No, not that I know of. I'm sure it's easy to find if we go to him.
But the article I saw was a picture of him and Raquel. I'm like, that's the wrong person. I think
it was like a few ago.
Right. I think it was kind of clickbait.
And they all they said was a girlfriend of 7 months.
7 months. He's gotten some girl pregnant. Clearly not engaged or getting married or whatever, but maybe now. Okay, but now Allie's on Southern Hospitality. And,
I mean, barely.
Sure. And this is what I hate. They didn't introduce her. They didn't really even give her a moment to
they said Maddie's friend. Maddie's was her thing.
You know how Maddie knows her. Because Maddie tried to meet with James Kennedy and ask for advice.
Yes.
So it's not even an authentic friendship. This cast doesn't need another body.
No.
We can barely get to any of the storylines because we're just so worried about the B-roll of them partying.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need another body. Now she's going to go to Leva and say, hi, Leva, I would love to work at Republic. Like a la Lisa Vanderpump.
You know who we could definitely cut? Lake.
Lake.
She is the most Debbie Downer.
What did you think?
Low energy.
But what did you
she
think
won't admit she's had sex with Oshin. Like, let's be for real.
That is the most unique pairing. For those who didn't watch the show, Lake on the show had sex with Oshin.
Oshin, yeah.
And he had a girlfriend.
Yes.
And she was so pushing on everybody, like, I didn't do that.
No,
I didn't do
didn't.
that. And then they called Oshin, and Oshin was like, yeah, we did that. And then
they show Lake going, Mom, I had to admit to it. It's like,
what did she think was going to happen? Let's hit on Punta Cana.
Ooh. All for Maddie's gig. Isn't that also their big trip?
Yeah.
Like, thank you, Maddie, for...
Right. And Michaels, can we just say, Michaels is main character.
Oh, for sure.
If Michaels wasn't on this show, like, I don't know what we would be talking about.
Well, that's a thing. He naturally is the person a lot of them go to.
Right.
But he does insert himself a lot, where I'm like, again, why is Michaels being part of this?
Let's just talk about Grace Lilly really quick with the Leva convo. How toxic that combo was.
Yeah.
The fact, first of all, Grace Lilly looks like she's on something.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't look clean in that.
No.
She's coming to Leva to say, basically, I would like my job back.
Yeah.
But she does it in a very
like, nah.
Yeah, presumptuous way. She's also, like, very nervous, you can tell. Leva's weirdly housing a pepperoni pizza, like, on camera. It's like, Leva, put the pizza down. She's trying to have her,
I also
moment.
loved, like, Leva is in an athleisure jumpsuit dress, and Grace Lilly is going to the club immediately after this meeting.
But Jessica, did you catch the Grace Lilly's like, well, I haven't used ketamine in 30 days. It's like, that is because you've been in your program.
Yeah.
That's not because you've been out in the world.
I know. And Leva's like, do you really think nightlife is...
Leva was just like, I can't deal with this conversation.
Yeah,
like,
no.
I'm not into this at all.
Yeah.
Like, it was very reminiscent of Lisa Vanderpump.
With James Kennedy.
Oh, when all of them would come back. Yeah. When they realized that they left the mothership is where the action is.
Yeah.
The stability, the structure, and the friend group.
Yeah.
And then you went middle finger to the management, and then you're like, wait, I actually want my job back.
Yeah.
All right, let's just hit once on Ladies of London.
Yes. It wrapped up.
So we finally see Micah's husband at her etiquette class.
Could have been an email. I was also like, is there any more like interaction, or is it just her talking about how to shake a hand? Maybe maybe bring some people up to do examples.
Right. The one thing I will say that's how etiquette classes are. I've actually gone to a lot.
I'm assuming for the eating portion, you actually are at a table.
Sure. Usually etiquette classes are multiple parts, and you spend it like, okay, how do you enter a room? And then there's like, how do you stand? How do you introduce yourself? How do you shake a hand? You can break down every micro thing of like the right way to do it. My biggest problem with etiquette classes, and this is from my experience with them, is they usually tell you the right way to do it, but like, how do you do it when it's not going in your favor?
Yeah. Self-defense. So when they come at you like this, you chop their arm, and you're like, what if they have a gun in this hand?
Right.
What arm am I chopping?
Right.
Exactly.
And Lord knows social interactions are exactly that way, Jessica, where it's like, it's never perfect.
Right.
You're sitting there going, did I just say that? All right. So then Mark has this kind of big meltdown at Micah's thing. The amount of cry happening, the cry face was intense.
It was the amount his face could move. When people have that much Botox and filler and whatever it is, the cry is very interesting in the way it morphs the face.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
like parts move and others are frozen.
Yeah.
So you're like, whoa, what is going on?
And so also you can tell he's super embarrassed he cried on camera, which I felt really bad for him about. Then we have Margot versus Mark and kind of like their sit down talk. I mean, got chills by that conversation.
Yeah.
It was so evil, both of them.
Whose side are you on? I'm just double checking.
Mark's.
Okay, me too. Just double checking.
Margot, multiple times, I thought the editors did a great job of like saying like, I didn't think he was like flirting with me. And then it cuts to her being like, you were flirting with me.
Yeah. And unfortunately, what I've kind of heard from Watch What Happens Live, that was Martha and Emma after the finale of Ladies of London. And he asked Martha, like, where do you and Margot stand? And she said, I am even further from her.
Stop.
I still don't recognize her. And in so many words was saying she's being performative for the TV. Like, I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
And they're all saying she's acting it up for the camera.
Yeah. I think the problem with this society, right? Because these are aristocracy, steps away from aristocracy, or like good friends of aristocracy.
Yeah.
Is they're just not going to film with her.
Yeah.
Like, you know how when the early seasons of Housewives, everyone's kind of jostling for an alliance, but they stick it out. Like Rosie sticks it out on Real Housewives of Rhode Island because it's like she wants to hang on to this rocket ship.
Yeah.
Aristocracy doesn't need this show.
No.
And they don't want to be made a fool of by having violent or tumultuous interactions with Margot.
Yeah.
They'll
just
find
someone even more fabulous than Margot and bring it.
They're just going to say they don't want to film with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially if she's no longer friends with Martha.
And that was her connection. And let's be honest, her connection to London was even a little... We just started renting a house. That was because she got cast. She'll be a one-hit wonder on this season. Like, she won't be back for season 2. And in a few years, an article will pop up.
Right. About
Margot from one season of...
Husbands goes to jail for tax fraud, for laundering.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the fashion show. Can you even call it a fashion show?
That was so strange. Was the runway just like 2 feet? And then you just stood? And then you turned back and went behind the curtain? I was like, this is not even a loop.
It was more like a recital, if you can even call it. Yeah. And the fact that Lottie was so nervous to walk down the runway, I was like,
I know.
The 10 feet on the grass in front of the 5 people.
It was 5 feet. It wasn't even 10.
That was Joshua's way of saying, I got to get something on camera. I appreciate it. The other thing I will say to you, Jessica, is that in London, they have all those pantsuits this season.
Yeah.
That's everywhere now.
His stuff is cool and has a look. Like, it was a cohesive collection. I know nothing about fashion.
Yeah.
But like when it came out, I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That he's known for this amazing tailoring. But one thing I just don't love when people get so full of themselves, and I'm worried Lottie is going down that path. Her Insta popped up, and she recently posted just photos from that last party in the fashion show, and she did one, like, was obviously feeling herself in her makeup from walking the runway, and she posted a face card that never declines. You don't get to say that about yourself.
No.
I agree, Lottie. You are beautiful, but you don't get to say that your own face card.
That's the one thing too. It's like I think with so much attention on Margot and like she's not wearing the right thing. You know who actually wasn't wearing the right thing a lot of the time was Lottie.
Gang, she was pregnant. Let's give her a...
But Jessica, she would wear like
really heavy stuff, and they'd all be like, "It's roasting in London today," and I'm like, "Are you not sweating?"
Flowy garden attire at Longleat, and she was wearing like her clearly Joshua's I think army outfit.
I think that's all she wears. And did you notice Micah had to take the jacket off? She was so fucking hot leading the seminar.
Like immediately had to take it off.
And I'm a little warm.
It wasn't just like it wasn't at the end. It was like immediately. It was a great season, but there was only 10 episodes, so we're done with Ladies of London.
It was short, but loved it.
Let's move to Jessica. What are the kids talking about these days?
So actually, our friend from Throwback Buys posted, but I had already heard this. Gen Z is reverting back to wired headphones.
Oh.
Obviously, this is different because we do have to be like plugged into this thing to record. I personally hate my AirPods.
Oh, really?
They die so fast. I'm on a phone call. Can you hear? One goes out.
Stop.
And I want to throw them in the lake. I now, just literally a month ago, bought 2 new USB plug wired headphones, and I've never been happier.
Jessica, you're preaching to the choir. I never actually went to the AirPods.
Okay.
I bought one pair and I lost it almost immediately.
Well, that's on brand.
That's not bad.
It's like, I can't find the case. Isn't that how I charge it?
I lost one. It fell into the washer. I couldn't get it out. And it was left behind. And I thought to myself, never again am I going to spend $150 to lose an AirPod almost immediately.
Too expensive.
This is not worth
for
it.
how easy to lose them.
No. And it's like if you fall asleep with them on in the bed, they're rummaged around in your sheet. You can't find it.
I'd rather be strangled by the cord.
Seriously.
At least I know where they are.
Thank God it's coming back.
Yes. Apple, has to release their sales. And Tim Cook was asked, and they were like, ever going to get rid of those wired? And he's like, no, people still buy them. So even though it's a competitor to their much more expensive AirPod, they are not getting rid of it. And more celebs like the cool Zoe Kravitz and like Olivia Rodrigo lately have all been papped, and they have wired headphones into their phone.
Papped?
Paparazzi photos.
Yeah.
So they're like running errands. Harry Styles running for the marathon.
All right, conspiracy theory real quick. Gerald the Dolphin. Have you heard about this? No. It's kind of old.
Gerald the Dolphin?
Yeah. Ricky James Howell from Florida, he claims he was held hostage for 3 days by a pod of dolphins while swimming in Fort Myers. So he basically was found on a beach. He was super dehydrated, looked messed up, and super wet. And he was drawing a blueprint in the sand when he was found of a underwater kind of building.
Is this a random person?
Yes.
Okay, you just said the full name. I'm like, am I supposed to know who that is?
No.
Okay.
And the story is that he was taken hostage by a pod of dolphins, and he was ordered to undertake an underwater construction project.
The dolphins told him that?
Dolphins told him that. He could communicate with their leader, Gerald, and he was gone for 3 days, and he was doing this. This is the part that it gets so weird, Jessica.
Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't the weird part.
So you think this is a crazy man, and he is clearly dehydrated. He's seeing things. This is the part that gets weird. So under further medical analysis, he was dehydrated, yes. He had no head injury or mental confusion. And this is in the report. He had sea particles and water in his lungs that would suggest he had been underwater for a long period of time. However, has no typical lung damage.
Oh, they gave him fins in a way, or
they
gills?
They gave him air bubbles that he could use to breathe.
Was he found on the beach of Fort Myers or some random little island?
On the beach.
Oh.
Now, he holds a master's degree in engineering and deep sea technology.
And he was swimming when abducted, or they pulled him off land?
I think he was swimming. But then people started seeing crews of helicopters and search boats circling that area that he was abducted in.
Yeah.
There's multiple pieces of footage.
Oh my God.
And then there's this other weird thing. Over a dozen bottle-nosed dolphins have washed ashore dead in Florida since in that area. Oh. And so the conspiracy theorists are saying that the government actually killed a bunch of these dolphins because they know what he was saying was true. Isn't that really weird?
It's very weird.
The part that's a little hard.
Do the dolphins speak English, or does he speak
Gerald
dolphin?
just does. Gerald.
Oh, sorry, just one dolphin. Okay.
And people are also connecting dots that back in the day during Vietnam, they were training dolphins to like sniff out bombs underwater. So there's just like a lot. Some of this all doesn't, sit right. You're kind of laughing at the medical diagnosis is the part that I'm like, huh?
Yeah, seawater in his lungs.
Because the doctor is objective, and they're like sitting there going, yeah, you've had a lot of water in your lungs, but no trauma to them.
Yeah.
Like equivalent to drowning. That's weird. That almost like gives me a little goosebump. Anywho, I was just in Florida.
I was going to say, did you see any dolphins?
I didn't see good old Jer, but I did see a dolphin. I should have asked him.
I kind of love... I always think dolphins are just so friendly and like majestic, other than when they terrify me because I think it's a shark for a brief moment.
And I think like it seems like they were kind to him if this actually happened.
It's like being abducted by aliens. They were really nice though.
They gave him water. I mean, he clearly wasn't.
They didn't drown him.
3 days without food, he wasn't like malnourished.
They could have caught a few fish and thrown him a bone.
Yeah, right. They could have made him feel very comfortable. Anyway, Jessica, great talking to you.
You too, Lauren.
Bye.